the word access means you have a right to enter.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do you enter? How do you enter? You enter with the keys.
Hallelujah. Boldly too.
Jesus said,
Yes, sir.
I have given you what? Keys to the kingdom of heaven.
Hallelujah.
Whatsoever. Now, watch this. Now, you got the keys. You got to know what they're for.
Yes, sir.
He said, I've given you keys to the kingdom. Now, whatsoever you bind, or the word bind translated lock. Whatsoever you bind or lock on earth, he said, I'll bind it and lock it in heaven. Whatsoever you loose or unlock on earth, he said, I'll unlock it in heaven.
Yes.
So, where the keys of the keys, Jesus said, I've given you keys.
Yes.
He said, I've given you keys. Now, with the keys, you have access to go wherever you want to go because you have keys to the kingdom.
Yes.
My God. Whatsoever you bind on earth, he said, I'll do it in heaven. Whatsoever you loose on earth or unlock on earth, he said, I'll unlock it in heaven. My God, that's agreeing with the God of the heaven. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Talk Back Live with Bob
and Josh.
Hey, Josh, we've been waiting for this day for some time now. It's not been too long since we did our last show. But hey, we have a great show lined up for you today. And the call-in number, if you want to call in, is 706-420-9221. Again, 706-420-9221. We have some great topics to talk about today. And Josh, we're going to talk about
we're going to get into it. You know, we're doing the introduction with everybody right now.
Right.
How y'all doing? What's going on? Glad to be back live. Hope some of y'all come back in. We had some folks in there, and we had a little delay coming on. But shout out to y'all that starting to come back in to the stream. We definitely appreciate that. Mm-hmm. We definitely got some stuff we want to talk about on this evening, and you never know how many, but I know one in particular, which y'all see in the title, that's been going viral as of late, and definitely wanted to give our thoughts on what's been going on with that in particular, with the Marvin Winans situation in Detroit. What is and isn't, going to talk about the facts and everything about that situation, and whether or not we believe he was wrong or whatever the case is when it comes to that. So y'all stick around. Welcome to give your opinions as well, as you know we like to do each and every time we go live. So definitely looking forward to hear what you guys have to say as well. Once again, Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. You can follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh, like our page. Check us out there. You can follow us if you're watching this. You see us live right now as well. You can also call into the show. And Bob, read that number one more time for me.
706-420-9221.
Yes, sir. 9221. And we do have the phone lines good to go today. I know the last few times y'all noticed the phone situation, we got that squared away. So definitely, I won't have any problems with that on today. But yeah, man, looking forward to this and whatever else we may end up talking about. You know how it goes sometimes in the flow of conversation. You never know what may end up coming up, man. But looking forward to talking about this today.
Amen to that. All right, and Josh, let's get it on, man. Start talking.
All right, so we can get right into it. Bob likes to throw it right to it there, but that's a good thing. Wanna get to it there. So, matter of fact, we just go ahead and talk about it. So, first,
okay, our first topic we're gonna talk about. There's some things I just found out that's happening in Memphis, Tennessee.
I can tell. I know it's something got you.
And first of all, we're gonna talk about Marvin Winans, Pastor Marvin Winans. Where's that church at? Detroit, Detroit, Michigan, and we want to get your opinion on what do you think. And a lot of you have probably seen the video, the audio, heard the audio, whatever, on Facebook and other places. And we got a clip that we're going to show you. I want you to take a look at this, and you tell me what you think concerning the whole situation with Marvin Winans and this lady giving her money to him, and what was said and how it was said. And do you think he did wrong, or you think it was right? There was nothing wrong with it, or do you think she just gave in to the situation, or what is she going to say about the whole thing? Well, let's take a listen and a look at what they have to say. First of all, we're just going to show Josh, if you got it, the original clip where it was just him without their conversation and being asked. We just want to show that what happened. When was that? About this past week?
Yeah, this past Sunday.
This past Sunday. Take a look and a listen to this.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Oh man! Every time I see that, it just gives me I end up laughing, man. And it's not like it's funny, but go ahead.
Did you notice one thing? Pastor Winans, and I listen, folks. I love the Winans. I love their music. I love, all that back in the day. I still do today. I have nothing against Pastor Winans. But did you notice that the lady said she had given $1,000, and then she was giving what, $235, right?
Yeah.
All right. He says this is only $1,200. No, it was $1,235.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he was so hung up to the fact that you didn't give the $2,000. You only gave $1,200, but she actually gave $1,235. So, and Josh, I want you to play that clip again one more time. I want you to take a listen to this, folks, and watch it. What do you think about this? And give us a call, or you can just leave your comments. We'll just read your comments. 706-420-9221 is the number to call, or leave your comments. One more listen at this. Take a listen, and we'll be back. Give us your opinion.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Okay, here's another situation.
Okay.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do. happy about the fact of the way his tone was when he said this. Well, that ain't what I asked you to do. Okay, fine. All right, now here's the other thing here. Here's the other thing. Was she right or was she wrong by getting in line and paying $1,235? Was she right or wrong? Okay, this is what I mean. Was she right or wrong by paying $1,235? Or was he wrong by not accepting her $1,235? Okay, now she brought $1,235. Should she have waited and got later in the line or right behind everyone else? Why did she come up to the top of the line, the front of the line, knowing that he wanted the 2,000, 1,000 plus 1,000? Why did she come up knowing that she didn't have 1,000 plus 1,000 the way he said?
Well, here's the thing. Now, again, I'm gonna play that a clip of him explaining what he was trying to do, because Fred Hammond had put it out later that the people didn't put the full context of the situation out, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I don't even think it's that. Like, what it seems to me, and I'll play the clip, but it seems to me he had an order in which he wanted the offering to go, meaning certain people with a certain amount come up at a certain time. It's almost like different lines or sections of people coming together to do it. Now, I'm gonna play that clip.
Okay, so what you're saying is he's saying he's asking for those. Okay, those of you that are giving $1,000. Now, this is an example. Now, those of you that give $1,000, I want you to come up in line first. Okay, but everybody else, if you give it, he said, I want the. Some people, this is the way it used to be, and the way I've heard it in the past. Some evangelists would say, okay, the first 15 people, I need 15 people for $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and they wait till those 15 people get in line, and then they say, okay, there's 50 people here that can give $500. Okay, then you get in line behind them. All right, then they say, okay, there's maybe 100 people that can give $50. Okay, you get in line behind them. All right, now the rest of you that's got anything less than $50 and down to $1, you just get in line of everybody else. All right, now to me, what does that look like? And what would it look like to some of you? How does that look? It looks like, okay, the ones that are giving the most money, you're first, and I'm going to pray for you first. You mean more to me than those that are giving $50, $100, or $500 because you're giving $1,000. Okay? So, should it be that way? Should it be that should it be that whatever you're asking them to give, and I understand that. But now, whatever they come up, I don't know. Maybe this lady had an appointment. She had to leave early, and she wanted to give her money. But if that's the case, and she comes up, and he says that's only 100, what did he say? That's only $1,200. Well, actually $1,235.
Yeah.
That's only $1,200. He said. Okay, she said, I'll bring the rest of the 800. No, that's not what I told you. That's not what I said. All right. Now, I don't know if she had to leave early or get out of there. Now, if that was the case, I can understand why she wanted to leave her offering and her gift there because she might have been leaving earlier. Or could she have given that to somebody else and say, hey, I'm leaving. Could you put this in the offering for me? Some people say, no, I'm not giving my money to nobody else. I don't know if they're gonna put that money in the offering or not.
Yeah.
So how would she know they didn't put it in? And then how would the pastor know that she didn't put it in because it may not be in? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So was he wrong by telling her that this is only $1,200? And she said, okay, well, I'll give the rest of the $800 He said, that's not what I said. Okay?
But look, here's the thing.
I
got what you're saying.
Is it okay for her to bring the rest of the $800 later, or whatever the case may be? Or should she have stayed in line behind everybody else that was only giving $1,200? Okay? Waited till they got in line, then you come up. Don't come up in line with those that are giving the most money, because right now you're not important to me. I just want to pray for those and touch those that have the 2,000, 1,000 plus 1,000. Okay.
Every time I hear that 1,000 plus 1,000, I just wonder why is it worded that way? It just sounds so funny.
Well, I mean, did she disobey? If he wanted 1,000 plus 1,000, those that are in line to give him 1,000 plus 1,000, and she came up with $1,200, and she didn't have to go anywhere. Let's say she didn't have to leave early.
Yeah,
was she disobedient? That's the thing we have to look at as well. So, what do you think? And the comments are beginning to come in. Leave your comment. What do you think? I know you're watching and all that. And all. Yeah, but. And saying hello to everyone that's coming in. But I want you to give me your opinion on this. What do you think? Was he wrong? Was he right? Or did he do it in a way that should never have been done? Was there a nicer way for him to say that? Or did he have a right to say that because she came up in the order that she shouldn't have come up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know.
Yeah, so okay. Now there's a lot of ways to look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question is, what is the proper way? Is there a proper way? And if the pastor maybe outlines how he wants it done,
right?
And let's say said person maybe either didn't hear it or accidentally just came up and because they wanted to give or whatever the case was. Is it proper? I guess my thing is it even proper to address that in front of everybody? Or should you just take the money, maybe say, well, you're in the wrong line, but it's okay. Whatever the case is. Was he too harsh? Is there even such a thing as being too harsh? But before you even answer that, before you answer, let me play his breakdown.
Okay, now let me say this. Let me say this real quick.
Okay.
Notice, people, that he said that to this lady in front of her son, her little son.
Yeah,
standing there
I'm assuming that's a son.
I'm assuming that's what some people are saying.
Yeah,
watching the whole thing. But at any rate, he was a young child with her.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, it was a young teenager or like about 10, 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But he said that in front of that person, that child that was there with her. What do you think? And I saw the child looking up at the lady, or I don't know if it was his mama or whatever the case was.
Yeah.
But the child looked up. I mean, for him to say that in front of that child and the way it was said, a lot of people said, man, I wouldn't take that stuff. I mean, he wouldn't talk to me that way. I'll get my money back and the $200 too. I wouldn't take anything from it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't give him anything. So, I don't know.
There was a lot of that talk going on. I ain't gonna lie.
So, was he wrong? Or was she wrong for not getting in line in her place? And,
Well, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip. And then
hang on, man. We got a phone call.
Well, now, it doesn't come through there. It's supposed to come through the tablet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
if
right.
the tablet ain't ringing, that's not the same thing. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. But if you got a call, you calling, please call the 706-420-9221. And somebody's calling the wrong line. But comments are coming in, and we appreciate your comments coming in. So what do you think? And
all right, so go ahead.
Sorry,
I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip, and then we'll talk some more about it.
Mm-hmm. Take a listen to this, folks.
We're going to do this a couple of ways. those that have the 1,000 plus 1, that means you're coming with your 1,000 that you're giving, plus you've asked someone else to give. Now you don't have to stop at 1,000, and we're going to deal. So in other words, if you say, Pastor Winans, I'm coming with my 1,000 plus another 3,000, then you'll say that. You understand? And if you didn't get the plus 1, but you maybe came with $250, you're going to come say that this is my 1,000 plus 250. You with me? And we're going to go all the way down. So I need you, in order for this to work, I need you to come when you're called with the offering that you're bringing.
So when they were called, you ready?
Yeah. We
Okay, I'm sorry.
When it's over, we're good.
Yeah, when they were called, he said when he calls for them, then you bring your offering.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he says 1,000 plus 1,000. Now watch this. He also said if you bring 1,000 and then you bring 3,000, you can come in the 1,000 plus $1,000 line.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come with 1,200, $1,200, and you don't give the 1,000 plus 1,000, you know, then you don't come because you're less than 1,000 plus 1,000 or 1,000 plus 3,000. I will allow you to come with 3,000 in line, but I will not allow you to come with $1,200, and because it's not 1,000 plus 1,000, but I will take 1,000 plus 3,000. I mean, so why not just tell people I'll take, if you come with 1,000 plus 1,000, then we'll take that. Now, if you come in with more than 1,000 plus 1,000, then you get in this line.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna, you know, put people in line and separate people, I mean, why not do it that way? I don't know. I'm not trying to criticize this, but it just doesn't look right for any of the body of Christ to look this way. Because, I mean, just think about it. It's the devil's job. It is his job to make the church look bad, to make us look bad. And these type of things and behaviors and attitudes, you know, he would be glad to make us look bad. So, Josh, I don't know.
Well, it's one of the things, like, I guess to me, you know, a lot of folks is like, well, I don't like talking about the church or negative about the church, you know, and stuff like that. And I get that. Don't get me wrong.
It's not talking negative. You're just giving your opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, yeah. I mean, because where is the line between like a legitimate criticism and talking negative? You know what I mean? I feel like talking negative is just, you know, being critical without a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or, you know, like you see a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in a situation like this, at least in my opinion. Now, I will say too, a lot of folks that are already always critical of the church will find this opportunity to continue and say, this is why I don't go to church, or this is why, you know, Christianity is so and so, whatever the case.
Well, they got to understand, Josh, it's not about going to church anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's not, you're not going to be saved or go to heaven because you go to church.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be born again. Jesus said, except a man be born again, he cannot see or enter into the kingdom of heaven. So this is a new birth experience that we have to have. It is not just going to church. If that's the case, I mean, you know, a lot of people would go to heaven. You know, some of these folks in these churches, everybody's not saved. They're not living saved. Okay? So just because a person go to church, you don't go to church to be saved. You go to church because you are saved. Did you get that? Mm-hmm. You don't go to church to be saved. You go to church because you are saved. And that's the difference. So, but, you know, this situation here, now we have a clip from the lady. Did we play her?
No, we didn't.
What she said that what she said about it. Okay,
Yeah,
let's take a look at her and listen to what she has to say. The lady that he told her this is only $1,200. Okay, let's hear her opinion. She may, be all right with it. I don't know. Let's take a look and listen. Whenever you're ready, John.
Okay. Yeah, and it was. I will say it's interesting to say the least, because I do have it here. So y'all know 1 second here.
706-420-9221 is the number to call if you'd like to call, or you can continue to leave your messages, and we'll get to them in just a minute.
All right, here we go. Y'all take a look and listen. All right, so that's some of it. Now I'm gonna play a little bit more here, but just based off what you heard right there, Bob, like what you think now, because I'm gonna replay some of it because I'm not sure. I want to make sure everybody can hear.
To me, if you wanting people to give a certain amount of money, and I don't understand the line situation. I mean, so what are we doing when we make them get into a line? Okay, I want 1,000 people that's giving 1,000 plus 1,000 get in this line. The 500 people that's giving 1,000 plus 1,000, I want you to get in this line over here. So don't get mixed with them in that line, because they're more blessed. They're giving more money. I don't want you to be in that line. I want you the other line that's giving $500. 1,000 plus 500 or whatever. Okay, and then the rest of you that are giving, $100, in the line, then you get in the line behind them. So what's the difference in the separation with the lines? I don't get it.
Now I'm gonna play it again, and because they wasn't able to hear it before. So y'all check this out. Here we go.
We're asked to donate $1,000 and raise another $1,000 to help finish the new sanctuary in Detroit and support their community programs. Pastor Winans asked those giving $2,000 or more to come to the front of the church first, with others following, from the largest donors to those donating as little as $1.62. But one member, Roberta McCoy, went viral after someone posted video of her coming to the front with less than $2,000, claiming she was rebuked by Pastor Winans. I spoke exclusively with both Pastor Winans and Roberta McCoy, who says she's been attacked online since that video began spreading. You're the woman in that viral video.
Right.
He did not rebuke you.
He absolutely did not rebuke me. Now, there's a difference. There was a correction, because let me clearly state that Pastor gave instruction on the lines to get into.
I was calling because the whole church was giving, and it was our day of giving. and the whole church was coming, and we didn't want people standing, the mothers and all that. So I was calling them by increments, and we had someone that had given out of before, and I corrected it, and I told everybody to listen and come when you call, and that's all that was.
Roberta told me Pastor Winans personally apologized to her. She's been a member of Perfecting Church since 2013 and has given faithfully over the years and will continue resuming on the new Perfecting Church right on Woodward and 7 Mile. Well, tonight, Pastor Winans also gave me an update on that. Construction is finally resuming on the new Perfecting Church right on Woodward and 7 Mile. Well, tonight, Pastor Winans also gave me an update on that project, nearly 20 years in the making. Over the past 8 months, teams of construction workers from Tools Contracting Group have been busy both inside and outside this massive 168,000 square foot structure that will be the home of the new Perfecting Church, transforming what had long been seen as a stalled project.
We are working feverishly so that we will have our opening in 2026. And with all of the things that people don't know fall in the line, from tariffs to the interest rates, all of that can determine how fast or how slow things go.
One of the partners at Tools Contracting told us the land surrounding the church has been graded. Tree removal is complete, and new curbs, sidewalks, and parking lots are taking shape with space for 705 cars. So I understand you've had contractors in here for about 8 months now, busy working.
We've been working. This is 2025. We've been having folk in and out since we started back up. It has been a continual grind, slow in some areas. Some things are long lead items where you have to place the order months and months ahead.
Inside, crews have finished fireproofing the structure and completed the acoustics in the 3,200-seat sanctuary. The fire suppression system, including all black piping and sprinklers, has been installed throughout the building. The fire alarm system is being wired now. Rough plumbing is underway, and HVAC work is in progress. Workers will begin putting up walls this month. One of the pricier additions now required by the city of Detroit, a new water retention system, will help.
All right, so that's a lot of that. You see a lot about the construction efforts, and this is what the money was going to.
Yeah.
Was these efforts and stuff like that. So very interesting to say the least. But what do you all think of that? So basically, when you hear that, right, you see what the money's going toward. Now, evidently, this has been a project 20 years in the making. It's like a project's going kind of slow,
Right.
And it's just one of those things. But it's interesting to kind of see what the money's going toward and everything. And I don't think anything is wrong with any of that.
There's nothing wrong with raising money.
No.
Okay, but when you raise it in a way, the way I feel, when you raise it in a way to where it's kind of belittling people when you tell them that's people that's got the most money, you come first and I'll pray for you. A special blessing for you. That's what they used to say, some of them. Okay. Then those that's got less than that, or then you get in this line, okay, then we'll pray for you. And the rest of you that's got $50 or less, then get in this line in the middle. And then when we get through with the other ones, then we'll come pray for you for your blessing. You only going to be blessed by what you give. Okay. Now, I remember, Josh, Jesus was talking about the woman that threw a penny into the bucket. He was sitting there watching them. And all those people that were given, they gave out of their what? They gave out of their necessity, what they had. They gave out of their abundance. Okay. That's what they had. They was able to give that because there's someone, rich and everything. But this woman threw in 1 penny in the bucket. And Jesus said, this lady has given more than all of those that have put anything in. Why? because she gave out of the abundance of her heart. Okay? Now, this lady that came up and gave, I know she's trying to be nice and everything because that's her church. She don't want to talk too bad. I don't, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, defend yourself, defend your pastor. That's fine. That's good, though. Okay? But for that to be the way it was and the way it was presented, it can be a hindrance. People that are trying to be saved, that need the Lord, it could hinder them because they say, well, see that guy just told her he didn't want her money. I would have taken my money and walked out of there. And I've heard some people say on the comments on this thing, they say, that's why I don't go to church today. That's why I ain't thinking about the Lord today. This is why I'm not giving my life to Jesus. It ain't nothing, it's just nothing but a bunch of mess in the church. They want to use that as an excuse not to be saved, not to be born again, not to come to Jesus. So we have to be careful in situations like this that we don't hinder the process of other people wanting to come to the Lord. And that's what can happen. Okay? Was she wrong for getting in line? Okay? And the other thing is, there are other people in the back of the line. The lowest offering that was given, Josh, way in the back.
Yeah.
The last person that came up, from what I got here, the last offering that was given, the lowest offering was $1.62. Somebody gave $1.62, but they couldn't come up to the front because, he didn't call for you to come up to the front. Or why didn't he want you to come up to the front with your $1.62? Or could they have just had people pass the baskets down and everybody threw what he asked for or what he didn't ask for into the basket, and they would find out that way, rather than having everybody coming up in front of the church, and then everybody who's giving 1,000 plus 1,000, they're going to get the praise because everybody else, oh, look at that. Sister Sally gave 1,000 plus 1,000, and Brother Jim gave 1,000 plus 2,000. Okay? So it's like giving them praise for them bringing what they had. And that's just the way I feel.
Well, you know what?
I don't know.
I guess that's my thing, right? I think the biggest problem I got, and I know this is a thing, you talk about church history or whatever, of people announcing what they're giving and stuff like that. Now, that doesn't happen everywhere. Don't get me wrong. Of course not. But, you see this sometimes, special situations, and this is what they call a day of giving. So it's probably an emphasis on that. But I guess to me, no matter what the day is, in my opinion, it should never be made of a spectacle or a showcase of how much somebody's giving and the announcement. To me, I don't really see the purpose.
Even though they came in line and they weren't supposed to be in line.
Yeah.
That's the point. I guess he's saying.
And look, even past that, like just the whole thing, even the regular people that were in the whatever line they were supposed to be in, to like, listen, I'm gonna play this one more time because this is quick, but I just to amplify a certain point. Watch this.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
You all remember that, don't you? But anyway.
I'm like, man, look, again, there's nothing wrong because she clearly had no problem giving that money and doing everything that was asked, right? But in my opinion, it's just me. I don't really see a purpose in telling people to announce it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I know people say, well, they can announce it if they want to, but it wasn't like an option. It's like when you come up, if you're going to give, this is the way it's going to be done.
Everybody's going to know what you gave, so you better bring enough money, because if you don't, I'm going to announce what you gave, and it's going to be embarrassing. So the lowest offering that somebody gave was $1.62.
Something's wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you.
See? That's what it was. A dead giveaway. I mean, it just doesn't look bad to me. It just doesn't look good. And I don't know. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, you let me know. You know, and so I you know, hey, I guess every person has their opinion about it. So I just I wouldn't do it, and I don't think it's right for, you know, and she's all right with it. That's fine. But even though if she's all right with it, I'm not going to say that makes it right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they said, well, she's all right with it. What is it your opinion? No, if she's all right with it, that's fine with her. But that's not the way I feel that it should be done. Okay. Now, so he asked for a certain amount of money, and she didn't have it, but she brought what she had. And so when a person brings what they have, it should be appreciated. Well, you only gave $1,200. Well, I could bring the other, and no, that's not what I asked you to do. Yeah, but it may not be what you asked, but you know, that's what you got. So anyway.
And now I got one more clip here, just on the fly, because I happen to see this.
Okay.
And I have no clue what he's about to say. But it seems like he's kind of defending it. Now, Ricky smiling.
Oh.
Now he has some thoughts on it. And it looks like he's defending it. So let me see.
Be heard, guy.
I had to pull that up, but I got you. See. And now we can hear it. Here we go. Y'all check it out.
See, people can take a small clip of anything and come to a conclusion, but now here's the full clip.
We're going to do this a couple of ways. Those that have the 1,000 plus 1, that means you're coming with your 1,000 that you're giving, plus you've asked someone else to give. Now, you don't have to stop at 1,000, and we're going to deal. So in other words, if you say, Pastor Winans, I'm coming with my 1,000 plus another 3,000, then you'll say that. You understand? And if you didn't get the plus 1, but you maybe came with $250, you're going to come say that this is my 1,000 plus 250. You with me? And we're going to go all the way down. So I need you, in order for this to work, I need you to come when you're called with the offering that you're bringing.
What are your thoughts? Because you know what I'm saying, man. We have to be fair to people. Now there's a full breakdown. That gives it a total different. That's totally different from the clip that's been floating around. You can always take a teeny tiny clip of something and make judgment. I almost did. I was like, wait a minute. Then I saw this clip And I thought it would be fair to put everything into context. Here you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
All right, so it really didn't change much, to be honest. At least, based on what he was saying, he really didn't give too much of his opinion, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But do you feel like, I'm gonna ask you this, and the people watching,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel that context, and we played that already?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that changed anything?
No.
From the original?
No.
Or from the first? The other?
No. People want to go back. Well, I want to clarify this by playing what you didn't hear. I don't care what I didn't hear, and I heard the other side. There is no excuse for any man or any preacher, any pastor to say to someone that brings you $1,235, there is no excuse or any reason for you to tell them, that's only $1,200. I'm looking for 1,000 plus 1,000. What are you doing here in line? I mean, but she said, I'm going to bring the other 800. That's not what I asked you to do. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go to another topic because, well, Annette said here, I feel he was too caught up in the order of which he wanted it to be done. Leaders can be impatient sometimes. And that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody come and they may be out of line, but they're bringing you $1,200. We have to be patient and understand that. Okay, here's the thing. Somebody said, well, y'all need to hear the whole story. All right. The lady gave her end of the story. All right. And from the way it sounded, it's like he was saying there's several people that had come up and not given the 1,000 plus 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was getting frustrated behind the whole thing. He said, you people are not listening. So, so there must have been several people coming up giving 1,000 plus 200, 1,000 plus 100, or 1,000 plus 300, and it wasn't 1,000 plus 1,000.
But here's my thing, and this goes to my point, honestly. Why are you even doing all this separating anyway?
Yeah.
Just let them give the money. Like if you say,
okay, I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
If I ask you,
mm-hmm.
If I ask you to get in line to give 1,000 plus 1,000, now you give it 1,000 plus 2 or 3,000, then you need to get in this line. This is my special line.
Mm-hmm.
If you give it 1,000 plus 1,000, then you get in this line. Okay. It's man, I lost my thought. But at any rate, it's just not right to me. It's just not right. I don't know. But somebody did give $1.62. So whatever you want to make of that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I get your point. Like, because the question I was asking, maybe help you remember what you were about to say is, so why the separation from, this amount to this amount? Why does that even need to be distinguished when you come up to give? Why not just give what you're going to give? And even if you have a distinction, why not just let that be the criteria you put out there and not have them talk on the microphone and do all that? What's all that extra for? Is it for show? Is it just to lift up the pride of the people that are giving certain amounts? Because look, I'll put it this way. If I was giving $50,000, let's say there's a huge amount, right? I don't know how comfortable I would be letting everybody know that I gave that much money.
Yeah.
Unless, just one of those things. But I just don't know how comfortable I would be. Even if I'm giving a low amount, I don't know how comfortable I would be. Even now, no matter what I give, and they say, "Here you go. Tell us how much you gave. Here's the microphone. Go ahead. Let the Lord know."
Yeah, let him
You already know. But you know what I'm saying? Let him use you.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't see any real utility in that or benefit.
No,
That's just me.
I don't see it either. But hey, some people feel that if you give a certain amount of money, then you are more blessed. And you know, you're
Well,
more
let me ask you this, because see, I hear that a lot. Like you know, see preachers on TV and stuff. Is that a thing? The more you give, the greater God gives.
No,
That the window opens a little bit bigger.
Yeah. No.
You know, like you've heard that before.
Yeah. But here's what the scripture says: "Give, and it shall be given unto you.
Mm-hmm.
Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom." Okay, but it didn't say how much to give before it's pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It says give.
Mm-hmm.
See, give, and it shall be given unto you. See, so anyway, we have to be careful. That's all I can say. We just have to be very, very careful before we knock somebody down.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If I come up with that other thought, I'll bring it up during our next conversation. Do you have that commercial? PJ?
No.
Okay.
Not on this system, no.
Okay.
Man, if I'd have had it earlier. But yeah.
All right. Let's go to our next topic.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get out of here in just a minute.
Okay. And did you want to go to break for a second, or?
No, we'll stay right. We'll keep it right here, and then we'll end up with this right here. In Memphis, Tennessee, there's a lot of things going on in Memphis. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the President of the United States. He's sending troops to different cities across the country because of what? Crime rate and some other things that are going on to help in those particular cities and those areas to overcome their situation, their problem. All right. So Memphis, Tennessee is one of those cities. As a matter of fact, Memphis, Tennessee is number one in homicide.
Yeah.
Number one in homicide. And so, okay, and the mayor of Memphis and the city council, some other people, they had their say, tried to convince the governor, Governor Lee, and the president of the United States, they didn't need the National Guard. Okay, so, but yet, at any rate, they got the National Guard, they got the FBI,
DEA,
all those other people there.
Mm-hmm. The Tennessee Highway Patrol.
Tennessee Highway Patrol, they got them whether they wanted them or not. Okay, now, here's the point. Here's the big problem. Memphis, Tennessee is number one in homicide. Okay? Murders and all this other kind of stuff. A lot of other things they're number one and number 10 in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Number one in homicide, that's very dangerous. People are being robbed. And I heard some stuff this morning coming out of Memphis where people were being robbed and there was carjacking at a gas station and robbery and burglary, this and that. I mean, that was just, all of that happened in about 20 minutes. So, this situation in Memphis is really, really serious. Now, we have a lot of people in Memphis saying they want the National Guard. They like what the president is doing. Even though you may be a Democrat, don't fight against what the president is trying to do because he's a Republican. That's stupid. You have people that are being murdered and killed all the time. And today won't even go by without a murder or killing or homicide in Memphis. It won't. And then you have these city leaders and city officials and county leaders, County Mayor Lee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do we have a?
Yeah, now I have a clip of. It may have Lee Harris in it, but I know there was this thing yesterday. I know Lee Harris had a press conference today, but also the other day about the lawsuit. The past several days, that he filed.
That's what he was talking about today.
Yeah,
It
now
was live earlier today. Yeah,
and but I got a clip here also of some other people that were protesting against the mayor of Memphis because they feel he's not being strong enough in this whole thing when it comes to that. So I'm gonna play this real quick.
Okay.
And let's see if we can get an understanding of what in the world's going on with this one. So.
All right.
Let's check it out. We'll be back.
706-420-9221 is the number to call. Take a listen. Listen to this.
All right, hold on. Let me hear. You don't want to hear this from the beginning.
Has the power to run this city and also has the power to stop this city.
From librarians to electricians, late this afternoon, hundreds of Memphis city workers protested in front of City Hall. Union members are protesting what they call Mayor Paul Young's refusal to sign memorandums of understanding with their unions.
In fact, this afternoon, in one collective voice, multiple unions cried foul. Fox 13's Martin Staunton was there and joins us live from City Hall. Martin, so really, what is at the heart of this labor dispute?
Darcy, last month, the city wrote in a countersuit with its fight with the Memphis Firefighters Association that city employees do not have, quote, the right or authority to collectively bargain with the city, end quote.
Well,
and the city went on to ask a chancellor to invalidate all of its agreements with the unions it deals with. Those memorandums of understanding are at the heart of this fight.
Never in this city have we had a mayor just come out and say, I'm not going to sign MOU.
The city's refusal to honor pay raises for firefighters is what led to this moment. Further polarizing bargaining efforts is the city's creation of a second lieutenant rank without the police union's consent, which Tennessee's highest court has said violates the Memorandum of Understanding.
I find it incredibly disappointing that there's even talk of going back on these MOUs, of going back on our trust and our bond with the unions. I stand firmly with them, and I ask the administration to do the same.
Union members say Paul Young sang a different tune when he was campaigning to become a mayor.
He told us to our face in the interview that he will create a labor liaison position in his administration, and that has not happened. We asked him to his face, was he union friendly? He said yes. And we're out here today defending our rights to bargain collectively. So we ask again, are you union friendly? Yes. No.
Fox 13's reached out to Mayor Young for a response. He has not responded yet, but the half dozen unions gathered here on this day did much better than talk about their solidarity.
Today, every union in Memphis stands united. Do we stand united?
Yeah.
Union strong, all day long. Union strong, all day long. As one labor family, sanitation workers, police officers, firefighters, operators, craftsmen, engineers, and clerical staff, we stand together side by side, shoulder to shoulder.
Okay, all right.
Now, this is a totally different issue, to be honest, than the task force and everything.
But the situation with the mayor of Memphis and the governor of Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee, and President Donald Trump sending National Guards to Memphis, Tennessee, because of the crime rate, the homicides. It was needed. And once they
I know,
approved,
again, I know this is kind of a harsh difference, but yeah, because this story had nothing to do with that. Right. I thought this had more to do with what we were talking about. So,
since when they decided, okay, the people decided, okay, we don't need no help. Mayor Lee Harris, you know, and right now they have a lawsuit in against who was that?
Against the governor.
Yeah, the governor. They have a
Yeah,
lawsuit
I mean,
in against the governor,
Yeah.
and this whole situation because they allowed the National Guard and the FBI and all those other people to come in Memphis, and it's like they invaded their space. Lee Harris is saying they invaded our space for nothing. We don't need them. It's not as bad as they seem. Okay, so, well, to me, it is bad because there's a lot of people crying out that they need something done, and they still, in fact, on the side of the governor and the National Guard for being in Memphis. I don't understand where there's a need that people would fight against it. I just don't understand that. And it's mainly the murders and the killings are in the black community. I mean, black people killing black people. And it just started spreading all over the city. And so now they try to send help. Now they're saying, we don't need the help. Yes, you do need the help. Memphis is in trouble, serious trouble. And if they don't get it under control, it's going to be bad.
Well, and here's the thing. So this is what I want to see. Again, with all this stuff with the National Guard and the task force and all that stuff. I want to see what the progress is. Now, I've seen good stuff when I've been reading and hearing from people in the city and stuff like that.
Well, in
but
just a few days, yeah.
Yeah, it's been like, I think, a couple weeks now, something like that. But, I think honestly it should be more. And I think over time it probably will be. Because you're still seeing some stuff go on. And again, I doubt, that's just going to end in a few days. You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
It's going to take some time to do what they need to do. But personally, and I've said this from the start, I have not had a problem with it. And I think there's a couple of things you got going on here, right? Right, Bob? So there's a couple of things you got.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yes, sir.
Is that one, you got people and their political interests kind of getting in the way. You got people with their ambitions, the positions they're trying to get elected to, trying to make a name for themselves. Because this is a big platform.
Right.
This big issue going toe-to-toe with the president of the United States, the attorney general of the United States, all these different major people that are coming down to Memphis. This is a major time to show yourself as a quote-unquote strong individual to the citizens and say, okay, they want to, even though the fight is kind of, I ain't gonna say the fight is pointless, but the things they're fighting for don't make a lot of sense because it's already in action. There's nothing you can really do to stop it.
Right.
So that's why personally I've commended Mayor Paul Young for working with the situation he has. Because at this point, it's not going to be able to change anything.
Right.
So why not try to work together with those people bringing those resources into the city and hopefully turn it to your favor in the things that you want done. Let your voice be able to have some type of input. Because if you make yourself too much of an enemy, and I think people think when I say that, or when people say that you're making yourself weak or that you're bending the knee to certain people or stuff like that. I don't think it's that. I think you're trying to get the best for your community in the best way possible.
Right.
And you know who you're dealing with and the situation that you're dealing with. If you continue to have overt pushback, like you don't want to work with them at all, you're not going to get nothing.
Yeah.
And it could get even worse and make them an enemy. Maybe it shouldn't even be that way, but you know what you're working with. So you have to be realistic. All this other stuff, people talking about, well, you need to send money. A good way to send money is to call the people that have the money to send you idiots and stupid and communists and all that.
Well, I mean,
what I'm saying is, if you get what I'm saying, how's it going to help you if you're doing that? Do you think they're going to give you anything? If they're sending this stuff to supposedly help the city, and then you cussing them out and calling them all these things and idiots, give us $1 billion. That's what we need. That's not going to happen.
We need the money. We don't need the National Guard. We don't need the FBI, the Highway Patrol. Send us the resources. Black folk are always good at saying resources. I mean, you don't need no resources. People killing each other in Memphis. You need to stop that crime and killing first before you get in it. What are you doing with the money, the resources they do send you? Been sending you resources for years. Nobody's done anything about with the resources. Now your time has come. You've done what you wanted to do. Now it's time for other things, other people to step in and try to make a difference. And I don't understand why people in that situation don't want the help. It's crazy. Most of the people that don't wanting to help are really politicians. Lee Harris, I don't know, man. I saw somebody said he needs to sit down. His time is up. He's out. He's not in touch with the people. He's not in touch with the community. He needs to leave.
Here's the ironic thing about Lee Harris.
I mean,
the thing is, most people, I think it's a consensus that most people think he's done a pretty bad job as Shelby County mayor.
mm-hmm.
And now, all of a sudden, he's the voice of the voiceless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's speaking out. I ain't seen Lee Harris since he got elected.
Yeah.
You know, as Shelby County mayor.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, he's the big voice for everything. Where was all this before?
Where was he before?
What's up, Greg?
Where was he when all the crime was happening? The murders, the homicides, and people, cars being broken into, and carjacking, and people breaking into people's homes, and that type of thing. Where was Lee Harris then? He was nowhere to be found. You know, so
you probably handling other business.
These politicians have led Memphis in a sack of lies. What a sack of lies.
All right, now
it's time for them to go.
Here's the point. So I got a video of the lawsuit we were talking about from today. They said they gave an update on the county mayor and lawmakers give an update on the lawsuit against the Tennessee governor.
Let me read this before you go. Chris Pierce said the problem is that they don't use the money right.
Yeah.
They use it for the wrong initiatives. That's true. And that's people they don't understand. They try to make people think that they're using the money. They just need more money. You don't need any more money. You're not using what you have, and it's not being used right. You know, so and another thing, Memphis is down what 500 police officers, and there's some reports that some of those people don't even want to come be police officers in Memphis. They had the opportunity. No, not Memphis, Tennessee. I'm not going there. But, I don't want to go there.
No, that's true. I don't blame them. To be honest.
They're not paying enough.
They're not paying enough.
And then they're
the risk.
The risk.
So the risk and the reward are not even.
It's not working.
Here's the thing. I will say this: criticize the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff we played, even though it wasn't the clip I meant to play. If that's true, with him reneging on the firefighters and the police unions and all these other unions,
that's terrible.
That's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Because I know he did run pretty strong on unions. And if anything you want in this situation that you're in, Mr. Mayor, is the police and fire and all these other emergency services on your side.
Yeah.
You don't want them they already are underpaid and understaffed and overworked, and then you ain't going to give them a raise?
Yeah.
Or pay them pensions and all this stuff?
That's true.
That ain't going to help safety at all. They're not even going to want to work. They already look like they're on the verge of ready to protest.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense if you're trying to fix the problem. If you say we ain't got the money, well, you better find it somewhere.
Better find it somewhere.
But here's a little bit from the county mayor's lawsuit.
Local leaders and legal experts provide an update just hours ago on the ongoing legal case against Tennessee Governor Bill Lee. This all comes as the judge denied a restraining order to block the National Guard's occupation in the city after Harris and other local lawmakers filed a suit last week challenging its deployment. It's a move some local leaders say violates state law and could lead to racial profiling. We heard from one of the lead attorneys representing the plaintiffs at today's news conference.
We are here because something unprecedented and deeply unlawful is happening in Memphis. Armed soldiers are patrolling the neighborhoods under an order that violates the Tennessee Constitution and Tennessee state law. This case, very simply, is about protecting Memphis, defending the state constitution, and making clear that no leader can use military power to intimidate, to silence the people they are supposed to be serving.
And we do want to let you know WREG's Raven Copeland will have much more on where the lawsuit stands coming up tonight on the news at 6.
All right, so they're keeping the big info for later today. But look, here's the thing. Look at those fierce. I don't know if y'all see that picture there, the National Guard. Look at those fierce people pressing the streets and just terrorizing
people.
The people of Memphis there.
Yeah.
Oh, look, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, folks, I don't know what to tell you, but glad I'm not in Memphis. That's all I'm saying. You know, so when election time come around, folks, you guys need to think about what you're doing, and you need to change some things in Memphis.
You know,
it's not about Republican. It's not about Democrat. It's about people's lives. That's what you have to look at. And yeah, Josh, one last comment.
I saw, and it's kind of on the same thing, but there's a Memphis not city council, but school board member. I saw her comment on somebody's page about not knowing that there was a city named Memphis in Egypt. And she asked, why is there a Memphis in Egypt? So she didn't know that. And then I saw last night the same city council, school.
Why isn't there a Memphis in Egypt?
Why is there? Yeah.
Well,
but look, and then today I seen a comment where this school board member posted replying to somebody that they will weep what they sow.
Wait, no, Josh. I'm trying to get off the air now. Wait a minute, hold it.
They will.
You mean somebody that's
school board member?
School board member. There's on the school board in charge of the kids, education in Memphis.
Yeah.
They said what?
That they replied that this person will weep.
They will
WEEP.
What they sow.
So I learned something. I didn't know that was how you said it. I thought it was reap.
I thought it was too. I don't know.
Like, how do you weep what you cry and then
maybe they
produce the tears?
Maybe they're trying to sound like that Bugs Bunny rabbit or something like that.
Wabbits.
Weepies. So
yeah. I mean,
all right,
but everything's fine.
The water is fine.
No, it's not. That's another character that said the water is fine. Ooh, Memphis has just been getting some bad people, man. I mean, how do
it's just a bad?
How do you
I think it'll turn around.
How do you keep electing bad people?
They chose
terrible.
I mean,
and this other girl, lady, what is her name? Tawana
Murphy. Yeah.
Tawana Murphy. How in the world? Listen, come here. Whoever voted for Tawana Murphy as a school board member, get close. Let me slap you. Okay, I mean, Tawana Murphy.
Yeah.
Out of all, anyway, hey, folks, get it together. Let's get it together, y'all. Y'all know better than that. We have smart people. Come on. I know y'all smarter than that. You can get it together. So, hey, I tell you what, though, we're going to be praying continually for Memphis, Tennessee, and other places that the crime would come in line and people's lives will be spared continually, that the crime rate would go down, the homicides would go down, and that Memphis, when they get into their elections, they elect the right people, not because of a name or not because you heard of them and you want them in as a favor, but you got to get what the people want. Get what the people want. People vote. Put them in and put in office the people that you want desire. And I think that'll help change some things. All right. Hey, it's been a pleasure to be with you today, and all the topics and everything. We appreciate all your comments and those of you that are watching and have been watching. So we'll be back another time. I don't know, sooner or later, but we will be back with another show and different things to talk about. And it's, hey, y'all be good. And we'll see you next time on another edition of Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. Have a wonderful evening.